John McAfee, pioneer in the cybersecurity industry, the founder of the software company McAfee Associates, now CEO of MGT Capital Investments. Good evening. Welcome to Romania.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
What do you think about all these emerging technologies that are now being used by giant companies in the industry? And I'm speaking about, for example, cloud storage or all those data mining technologies.
Yes.
How long will these last as secure technologies? What do you think?
They're not secure. They're not secure now. I mean, you know, I'm here to speak at Brock Pierce's brainchild, D10E. On a cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency, people say, well, how secure is Bitcoin? I go, what side do you want to look at? If you want to look at the blockchain, I think it's extremely secure. It's a mathematical principle that allows you to validate with absolute certainty a source and destination for any transaction. That's very powerful. On the other hand, I see people who put wallets on their smartphones. Now, something that you may not know is that over half of all smartphones, both iOS and Android, are infected with keystroke logging software. This is a known fact. Every pornography site in the world, if you have ever, I'm sure nobody here has ever looked at pornography, but if you have, if there's a rare exception, then you have keystroke logging software. How do you think they make their money? See, this is the issue. It costs millions of dollars to maintain these massive databases and have the bandwidth to disperse this pornography, and yet you don't pay. Yes, you're paying. The instant you visit the site, if you have an Android, for example, the site runs a JavaScript which sets the download unauthorized application flag. The very first video that you watch, you now, because that's a click-through, you clicked, you did something. You said, yes, oh, good, that's yes, I'll do that. Downloads, first and foremost, a remote rooting function. If it's an iPhone, a remote jailbreaking program. All can be remotely rooted now. After it's rooted, they download a keylogger, and all this takes just a matter of seconds. And from that point on, somebody is watching every single one of your keystrokes. Now, people pay these pornography sites for the ability to put their keylogging software on your phones. Why? Well, maybe they're a Bitcoin aficionado, and they're going to see, do you have a Bitcoin wallet like Mycelium or what have you? Yes. Well, they're just going to hang around until you access it and input your keys or your passwords, and the next day, your wallet's going to be empty. Or maybe you do online banking, all right? You have a password, you have an application. The very first time you've logged into your bank to check your balance or do anything, they go, thank you very much. And the next day, your bank balance will disappear. Now, why has this not happened to you already? Because hackers are not stupid. In order to take something, they have to download additional software. If they only take 400 or 500 people's bank accounts in one day, then the next day the white hat hackers are going to say, this is how they did it, everybody, you can protect yourself. No, they're going to wait until one day this year or next year, and 100 million people in one day are going to have your bank accounts eradicated. Zero balance, or your identity will be stolen, or your Bitcoin wallet will be emptied. Or maybe they've been watching your keystrokes to see if, you know, maybe you're saying something to a friend or a lover that maybe could compromise you. Maybe they can blackmail you. If they get lucky, you might be a United States congressman or a senator, in which case, now not only do they have money, they have power. So this is why this is being done. And the Russian cyber mafia and the Chinese cyber mafia are so powerful. They pay literally hundreds of millions of dollars to these pornography sites to allow them to access your smartphone so that at some point they can utilize that. So something to think about. Now, you said how secure are they? Well, they're not. They're not. Neither the alt currency wallets nor anything else in the cloud. Because what is the cloud? We haven't thought this through, people. The cloud is a place where I'm going to store data. I don't know what computer it's on or even what country it's in. I don't know who is managing it and monitoring it and controlling it. I don't know what type of security facilities you have. I know nothing. And I'm willing to put my valuable data there? No. Why would we do that? Now, if it's something I don't care about, that if you steal it, I don't care. It's a list of books I read. You know, I'll just recreate it from the web. But if it's something that matters, it's like saying, we've all agreed now we have secrets, yes?
Yes.
Well, why don't you let me keep your secrets? Why should you be burdened with having to keep your secrets? I mean, you've got too many stories to tell. Why don't you give it to me and let me manage it for you? Isn't that crazy? And yet that's what we're doing with our, quote, secret data. That is data we don't want to have stolen from us or taken or accessed. Did I answer your question?
Yes, it did. So as an investor, you wouldn't invest in a company that it's using cloud technologies?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Because there are many ways of looking at the cloud, aren't there? I mean, as it exists now, with where we store our data is unknown. And why do we use the cloud? We use it because it makes life easy. I can access my data from anywhere and from any device, on an airplane, my smartphone, my laptop, who cares? Well, you can do the same thing by choosing where you store your data. And there are companies that are offering decentralized cloud services where you create this, they give the software, you say, well, I want my main server in the company to be where I keep all my sensitive things. You might even have your smartphone as a server if it's always turned on. So you get to pick and choose. And you might still use the cloud for some things because not important. It doesn't matter if people steal it or know what's in there. So I'm not saying I wouldn't invest in it. I'm saying that it would have to be a new type of cloud, a cloud that you, as the user, have control over to the extent that you get to choose the location of your data.
Speaking about Bitcoin, what is the most significant value of Bitcoins? What would you say?
Well, I think the most significant value is that it is a new paradigm of money. And it's not going to go away. It's like Pandora's box. We've opened the box. It came out. It's not going away. No matter how much governments would like it to, no matter how problematic it is for banks, it's here to stay and it's growing. And the world will have to learn to adapt to it. If not Bitcoin, then one of some other cryptocurrency, because there's hundreds of them. And I would caution people because many of these new cryptocurrencies are scams. People who say, oh God, there's a lot of money to be made, let's create our own currency and name it whatever, the McAfee coin. And let's pre-mine 1 million of them and sell them. But please, it's a license to steal. And they do it because people do not understand the technology behind it. And here's some other advice. If you are going to become involved in any kind of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin or Ethereum or Monero or whatever, you need to educate yourself. It is easy to lose your money and to become confused. So and these are problems that will fix themselves. The simplicity, it's difficult now because it's a new technology and we don't have the facilities to keep you as the owner of the money from hurting yourself through lack of education. We can build software to take that away. It'll just take time. A year, 2 years, 3 years, that problem will go away. But banks, governments, people who collect taxes from income, it's a problem they're going to have to deal with. And now I've lost your original question. It had to do with stupidity
and hacking.
And hacking, yes. So it is. Stupidity meaning we blindly walk into things without thinking, like Bitcoin. You should always, at least for the next year or so, Find someone who's already doing it that can advise you, who already has a wallet and can tell you what's the best wallet, who can tell you how to store your money offline. It takes education, and it takes a little time. And again, the stupidity part, you know, mostly me. I get tired. I also do exchanges between Bitcoin and Ethereum and Monero, all of the alt currencies. Why? Because I'm looking to buy a company that's already doing that, and I need to understand that technology. Well, you know, I've lost thousands of dollars, mostly through my own stupidity. You know, I get tired, and when you transfer one alt currency into another, you have to have an intermediary wallet. So you have the source wallet, the intermediary wallet, and the end wallet. It's easy to get those things confused if you're doing it a lot. So that is stupidity again.
Is there any way to secure your Bitcoins once you've earned them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think mine are secure. But the only way to do it is offline. I mean, you can buy devices. My favorite one is Trezor, Trezor, and the reason is because your seed keys. When you first create a wallet, it gives you a thing called seed keys. It's a list of words, random words: car, shoelace, dog, cow, whatever. And these are your seed keys, randomly generated to the point that there's no way anybody could ever guess them in the right order. Now, the ridiculousness of wallets, keep in mind that if you've been to a pornography site, someone's watching you anyway. As soon as you install the wallet, it shows you what your seed keys are, asks you to input them so that you got it correct. Well, you just gave up your wallet to any hacker who wants access to it. What's nice about the Trezor device, and by the way, I have nothing to do with Trezor. I'm not promoting it for sale. Nothing. I just use it. Is it has a tiny little screen that shows you the seed keys on this screen, not your smartphone, not your laptop, not your desktop, but on that device. So no hacker can access them. And then once you've put your Bitcoins into the wallet, unplug it, bury it in the backyard, hide it under your mattress, whatever you want to do with it, like it was real cash. So, but to keep the wallet on any intelligent device, whether it's your laptop, your desktop, or any mobile device, that's insane. It will get stolen.
How much do you think the security industry is still, biased towards hiring computer science graduates as opposed to people that are self-taught in this security field?
I believe that in 10 or 15 years, colleges and universities will no longer exist. Does it make sense, for example, to learn a science where you're taught by a human being with a limited brain and limited capacity, when right here in your hands you have access to the infinite knowledge of the world? I tell this to people all the time. They go, "What should I study in school?" I go, "Why do you want to go?" I mean, if you want to go to school to party or to make friends or for social reasons, that's fine. Or you want a degree so that you can get a job with some structured company that demands you have one, okay. But if you truly love what you do, you're not going to structure your life so from 10 a.m. till 11 a.m. you'll be studying writing device drivers, and then from 11 till 12 you'll be studying C++. No, that's nonsense. You're going to be living on the dark web. You're going to be living in these communities where people are talking about the ins and outs of technology. That's how you're going to learn. And those are the people I will hire. Because if software engineering and hacking is not a structured universe, it is very chaotic. And universities are very structured, even though they look chaotic at fraternity parties. But So yeah, you need to question whether school in its current form will even exist.
Mr. McAfee, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure. Now, if you're still available for 5 or 6 minutes, I think that we can take 1 or 2 questions from people that gathered here. And we have some questions on Facebook as well. Someone is asking why you didn't win the presidential elections.
Well, I had no intention of winning it. I mean, please, anybody who's Googled me will know that I can never be the U.S. president.
Well,
okay, now, let's get real. Let's get real. I'm smart enough to know that, and so were all the people on my campaign. However, what did it do? It allowed me to have a national platform to stand on, to tell people what I've just told you. Cybersecurity is our biggest risk. We're teetering on a cliff. If any of you have children, you'll understand what it means to want to leave the world in a better place than you found it. Well, we're about to leave a disaster to our children. I don't want that. No parent wants that. So it gave me a national stage, and especially me being John McAfee, expecting me to do something crazy, which I tried to do as often as possible. People listen. But no, why I didn't win, there's no way I could have won. Ask that person what drugs they're on for even asking that question. I'm joking.
I know.